that getting the starting spot tonight?
Well, it's a full house. It's a very tight venue in terms of the crowd being right on top of the court. It should be very atmospheric once we get going. And we are underway, and it is actually the Raiders who will get the first offense through Josh Wiltshire. Here's Hassan to Nicholas, having a stunning season for the Raiders in his second spell with the team. Offensive foul called off the ball on Hassan for the push. So will the first points at the Eagles Community Arena be scored by an Eagle? Well, kind of like to see Darius Defoe do it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, it's Fletcher to Defoe is usually the way the Eagles start, but at the moment Defoe, here he is taking up his position.
Here goes Darius Defoe. He drives into a little fall away, and it had to be Darius Defoe with the first points in the new
We've
building.
been watching that for the last, 10, 12, 13 years, different point guard feeding him, but the same result.
And he's almost come up with a steal at the defensive end. Here's Wiltshire. Hassan looking to post up, but it goes to Nicholas instead. Nicholas with the shot clock under 5. Bouncing it into Wells, and he has a little hook to drop it in for 2.
I thought took that hook shot with really good poise. Worked into a good position, caught the ball cleanly.
Smith driving to the basket is fouled by Nicholas, who points to the floor in the hope that the referee might not give him shots for that, but I'm pretty sure he will.
I don't think there'll be any major concerns at the moment on the Raiders camp, but when you consider the first 2 fouls have gone against 2 of their key players, they'd probably be particularly disappointed with an offensive foul against Hassan.
Well, they did have some injury trouble earlier on in the season, but they are a little deeper now with Järvelainen back in the lineup. He's coming off the bench. He was very effective for them early in the season. And Smith goes 1 of 2 from the line. Eagles by a point. Here's Hassan, lobbed towards Nicholas, but stolen away by Smith. Smith in transition gets it to Defoe, who's challenged well by Hassan.
Yeah, great defense there from Hassan.
Particularly, as you say, Hassan all on his own, and a total breakdown in the Eagles' defense there gave him an easy dunk.
Yeah, I mean, through these periods, what I think is misfiring in the offense, and Coach Flournoy calls disjointed, the one thing that's unusual about the Eagles, it did affect their defensive intensity, which not many Eagles teams over the seasons have reacted like that. And that was this year, a complete breakdown defensively. Too much ball watching.
Fletcher crosses half court, gets it to Defoe. He's going to let fly from 3-point range, off the front of the ring and over the backboard. He's had a career season from the 3-point line this year, Darius Defoe. He's never really been much of a 3-point shooter previously, but he's already made 12 of 29 in league play this season. Here's Wells. He tries that little hook again, didn't quite have enough on it that time. Here's Moses in transition, and he's fouled by Zach Wells, and will go to the line for 2.
Well, one stop there straight away. Not even played 3 minutes, and the Raiders on 3 fouls. The 3-point shooting, it's catching.
Yeah,
you watch the
does
NBA,
days,
and they're hearing all these things about stretch 5. It's not only just catching with Darius, it's catching with Victor Moses as well.
Yeah. In the good old days, the big men used to be in and around the basket. They all want to be on the 3-point line.
Absolutely.
None of them big guys shooting threes back when you started in 73, was it?
No, but I do remember when GB played Yugoslavia back the first year the 3-point line came in. We went invited to watch practice. Yugoslav's 7-footers were all shooting 3 points. We all wondered what was going on, but we know why.
Now we know why. Just ahead of the curve, weren't they? Moses from the free throw line puts Newcastle back ahead, and he's going to get a little break as Jamal Williams checks into the game. And the good news for us is Plymouth did start the season with a Jamal Williams on the team, but fortunately he's not there, so we don't have that confusion. 3 Williams is plenty for anybody.
I struggle more with Kai and Kyle than...
Yeah. Well, imagine Kai and Kyle and 2 Jamals.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, I'm trying to work out that substitution there. Obviously there's some reason behind it.
Well, Fab is having a little word with Moses on the bench. Here's Kai Williams in the corner around the rim for three. I did speak to Fab before and asked him had they had any chance really to play on the main court here as Wilshere hits the triple. He said they've had a couple of practices where they've been able to go up and down, but not too much.
Yeah, I think this week's been a very difficult week for them in practice with all the preparation that's gone on in the venue.
As Fletcher hits a three at the other end. Yeah, I'm sure there would have been a lot of distraction going on as well in the build-up and just the final fixes that you get in creating something like this. That's going to be a kickball, a few seconds added back to the shot clock.
It is, of course, the second venue in Newcastle of an arena that's happened when the original transfer came to Newcastle in '95. Obviously, we opened Newcastle Arena. That was a similar situation. It was, does the building work?
Yeah.
Panic right up to the last minute.
And that's just a few yards down the road from here, really. Probably more than a few, but not far away.
It's not far at all.
It isn't far. No. It's walking distance, that's for sure. And, of course, they've been in Sports Central as Kai Williams nets another triple.
Well, that will be a tremendous sight and relief for these guys. Kai Williams coming down the floor and doing what we know he can do, which is knock down threes, because I think during those times of trying to adjust new players into the system, I think the two Williams have just suffered a little bit.
Here's Hassan with some space, driving past Defoe and laying in to cut it to a 2-point game.
Well, you know, from Darius Defoe's point of view, I think that was too easy. He got the ball too easy and he took two lazy steps and was able to get and convert.
Fletcher doing what he does so well, exploding to the basket.
And how does he do it over the much bigger guys?
Well, if I knew that, I'd be selling it to the other BBL coaches.
Especially Leicester, I guess.
Nicholas inside for two. Smith, is that on Wells? Because if it is, it's his second, and he's going to have to sit down in some early foul trouble.
Not only that, it takes them to the penalty, and the Eagles are yet to register a contact foul.
Jarvalainen into the game for the first time.
And you also got to remember, you know, if we go back to last September, this is very much a different Eagles team to what we had last year. And then not only that, they had the early change, and I think Jeremy Smith and Kyle Williams took quite a while to settle into the Eagles style of play.
Here's Fletcher, who took no time at all, of course. Two-time MVP. His shot is short from three-point range. Nicholas driving hard, gets to the finger roll, landed a little awkwardly, didn't quite have enough spin on that. Fletcher back to Williams, on to Defoe from mid-range, and an easy board for Hassan.
Good transition there. Fletcher penetrating the centre of the court. Kicked out to Williams. He was open, but Darius Defoe was in a better position. Really smart pass.
Hassan at the elbow. Goes to the spin. Good defense from Jamal Williams, and that will be out of bounds for a Newcastle possession.
No, back to that huge win over London City Royals. The Eagles that night, I've never seen a team so well mentally prepared, and I'm seeing signs of that now with the way they're playing really tough on defense.
Well, Jamal Williams not quite found his touch from three-point range with that one, at least.
Fab will have these going baskets out tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing. We talk about what it does on game night and the ability for them to get a big crowd in and all of that secondary spend and stuff that you don't get in somebody else's building. Wiltshire drives in and Hassan with the rebound, but the real gain for basketball in the Northeast and the Newcastle Eagles is what goes on the rest of the week. All these baskets up in the ceiling, they'll be able to run all of their development program stuff, their community work that they do here, as well as the senior team being able to train on their own court. Yeah,
and some of the junior teams possibly training here as well. I remember you telling me the benefit that it had down at the Leicester programme. And Saturdays here, it's basketball morning, noon and night with all the central venue leagues to run.
Well, that will be the real boon for them as it beds in In some ways, what we see for the 2 hours on a Friday night is merely the tip of the iceberg. As Nicholas goes in, that basket will count. He'll go to the line for the bonus.
Well, despite the fact that they have this early foul trouble, despite the fact they've had a bit of trouble trying to work their offense to Eagles these days, they've actually taken the lead with just over half of the quarter already gone.
Well, Nicholas is having a fantastic season in his second spell with the Plymouth Raiders, certainly in the conversation at the midway point of the season for league MVP. His numbers have been absolutely phenomenal. He leads the league in the efficiency measures by some distance. And he does a little bit of everything.
So was it Jarvalainen back on the floor now? Is he the one who's coming back from injury?
Yeah, he missed a few games from injury. He really started the season. I remember watching some games early on where he was hitting killer threes late in the game. And they really missed him. And again, he's one of those guys who does a little bit of everything for them. Rebounds well, can shoot the three. And they were just, for a couple of weeks, Wiltshire was out injured as well. A bit thin on the ground. But they're all back now, and with the lineup they have, they do have plenty of talent in it. As Akiki knocks down the triple, and well, this one not going according to plan with the Raiders with 19 points in the first 6 minutes.
They're certainly the team with the rhythm in offense at the moment.
There's Fletcher driving in, not quite enough as he tossed it over Hassan. There's Jarvalainen, pulls up from the free throw line, almost gets his own rebound, but the Raiders do recycle.
I think we're going to see a lot of what we just saw in the last Eagles offense. Fletcher penetrating the basket and the entire Plymouth Raiders defense coming over to help to cut off his route to basket.
Beautiful turnaround from Jonas Jarvalainen. The high arcer, and timeout called by Fab Flanoy and the Newcastle Eagles. 6.5 minutes.